80% of the people are more afraid of public speaking than death. This was the first sentence that I heard from William Benkő when I met him 8 years ago. It happened at a university where I was studying, and Willie talked about public speaking and the importance of public speaking. And what I learned there is not that just it's important to learn this incredible skill to be able to give a good speech in front of other people, but I also learned that Willie truly believed that anyone can become a good speaker. Most of us think that you have to be born to be a good speaker. But Willie said that no, anyone can learn it. A few years went by, and in 2010, I called Willie and said, Willie, you have to show me how you teach people to become good speakers. And he said, fine, Attila, I will show it to you. You just have to follow me. I said, Willie, no matter where, I will come after you. So 1 week later, we ended up in prison. We were sitting there, Willie right next to me. I had that characteristic odor of cigarette fume emitted from the carpet and from the curtains, and a bunch of prisoners were in front of us. And we were teaching them how to become good speakers. Because Willie truly believed that if there's something that we can give these guys once they're out of prison, maybe instead of using weapons to solve their conflicts, they might use communication. So we went there. Every week we spent there 2 hours. Thursday morning at 8 a.m., we met at the Cosma Street prison. We went in and we listened to speeches of prisoners. They had different topics based on which they had to give very short speeches. Then we gave them evaluation, we gave them feedback based on which they could develop for the next week. We spent 8 weeks with every group we met. And the strange thing there was that we started out with 15 people, but by the end of the 8th week, we only had 5 people. I thought, what is it? Aren't they motivated? It's so big thing that we are there and that we're helping them. And I didn't understand how they can lose their motivation. Moreover, sometimes they went on stage, we told them, okay, Gyula, it's your turn to get on stage. Gyula went there, put his hands behind his back, looked down and said, I did not prepare. We said, why? Gyula, what was the problem? Why couldn't you prepare? I did not have the time. Yeah, we were thinking, what else can they have if it is not time? What is the problem here? And we knew that the main problem was with priorities. They didn't know that it's something they should learn. But this is something that you don't, it's not something that you tell to a murderer from eye to eye. So we just said, okay, sit down, we'll see what we can do, just say something. So we tried to get through with this, with them. This was a problem in the free world as well. Because after this, I started my own trainings. I had multiple sessions. But somewhere after 6 or 7 sessions, I saw that people are losing their motivation. I didn't know what it was, and I didn't know how I could change this. But I saw that they start out with full enthusiasm, and somehow, from day by day, from week by week, they lose what is needed for them to prepare for the next week. I know that there are several presentation skills training out there. But I also know that if people go away for one weekend, for Saturday and Sunday, they learn about the theory, they learn about how to be good public speakers, just hearing it, but not practicing it, or even practicing it, but just for 2 days. That's not enough. They have to practice it regularly. They have to do it every week, or at least every month, to give 1 or 2 speeches in order to remind themselves how to do it well, in order to get through the fear of stage fright. But still, it doesn't matter if they do it regularly. If somehow, somewhere they lose their motivation, that's a problem. And then a year ago, I got a call from Willie. And he said, Atish, I've got a new project called Speak Akadémia. Do you want to join me? I said, of course, Willie, why wouldn't I? You know, last time we ended up in jail, but maybe this time it won't happen. So a few weeks later, we started a new course. 12 sessions every week, 2 hours with 3 people. And for 2 hours, we met with them. They gave their speeches. We evaluated them and tried to help them to become better speakers, just as we did earlier. First week, we had 12 people. Next week, we had 12 people. Next week, we had 11 people. Next week, 10 people. And the list goes on and on and on until the 8th session. But at the 8th session, they gave their speeches, and then we turned to them and said, this is time. This is the time when you have to start to prepare for the graduation speech. We told them that there were going to be a graduation ceremony. And on this graduation ceremony, they will be able to stand on the stage of Marriott. And there will be 100 people watching at them from tables. And everybody will be there only for their speeches, only to listen to them what they're willing to say. And there will be no chance to get on stage and say, sorry, I could not prepare. I didn't have the time. We spent 12 weeks with this group. And it was amazing to see how they changed throughout these 12 weeks. When we told this, that at the 8th week, we told this that they're going to have to prepare for the graduation speech, we saw that excitement coming back into their hearts. We saw in their eyes that they're getting excited. Of course, fear was there as well, but excitement was there as well. Because you know that if you want to change someone, if you want to change a habit, it doesn't happen from one day to another, and it doesn't happen between the 4 walls. You have to move out of your comfort zone. The only way is to change yourself, no matter what we're talking about, is to move out of your comfort zone. If you want to get fit at 5 a.m., when the alarm clock goes off, you get up from your bed, you put on your running shoes, and you go for running. And yes, it's not easy, it's not comfortable, but this is why it's called out of your comfort zone. And this is what will help you to develop. Now, of course, if you move too fast, then it's a problem. Because never again you would want to go back out there. If once you see that it's impossible to achieve what you planned, then never again you will try to do it. But by the 8th week, these guys and girls, by the 8th week, they have given 8 speeches. And by that time, though they were worried, though they were scared, but they knew that they will be able to speak in front of 100 people. Because by that time, they developed the regular habit of speaking in front of each other. By that time, they realized it can be achieved. Ladies and gentlemen, 12 people started off at this group last year. Things change, time goes on. This is another group that we have here today, and we have got 9 people in this audience who are going to give speeches tonight, who are eager to bring their heart here and put it onto the stage and show it to you, and it's up to you to enjoy it. Dear ladies and gentlemen, this is the graduation ceremony of Speak Akadémia. I am Attila Szabó. I'm going to be the master of ceremony tonight.